What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the stories behind the legends of sports, pop culture, and everything in between. Today, we've got an absolute bombshell to talk about, a statement that's got NBA fans, sports analysts, and just about everyone with a love for basketball scratching their heads or downright shocked. You heard it right. Scottie Pippen says he'd trade winning an NBA championship without Michael Jordan for $100 million. Let that sink in for a second. One of the most respected names in basketball, a Hall of Famer, a six-time NBA champion, just put a dollar value on his legacy, and it's got people asking all kinds of questions. Was it a throwaway comment? A genuine sentiment? Or something deeper? Let's break it all down. So, for those of you who might not be familiar with the full story, let's rewind a bit. Scottie Pippen is a name that will forever be linked with the Chicago Bulls and, of course, Michael Jordan. Together, they formed one of the most unstoppable duos in NBA history. They dominated the league in the 90s, bringing home 6 championships and building a dynasty that's still celebrated today. But here's the thing: Scottie Pippen has always lived in the shadow of Michael Jordan. As much as he contributed to those championship wins, and trust me, he contributed a lot, he's often been seen as the Robin to Jordan's Batman. Now, don't get me wrong. Being the Robin to Michael Jordan is no small feat. Jordan is widely considered the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But if you're Scottie Pippen, and you've poured blood, sweat, and tears into your career, it's got to sting a little to always be the second guy. That's where a lot of the tension comes in. Over the years, Pippen has made it pretty clear that he felt underappreciated during his time with the Bulls. He's spoken about being underpaid, overlooked, and overshadowed, and it seems like all of that has left some lasting scars. Fast forward to now, and we get this jaw-dropping statement. Scottie says he'd trade winning an NBA championship without Jordan for $100 million. Now, at first glance, it sounds almost outrageous, doesn't it? I mean, we're talking about the pinnacle of an athlete's career, winning a championship. That's the dream, the goal, the thing you work for your entire life. And Scottie would trade that for money? A lot of people are asking, why? But when you dig a little deeper, it actually starts to make some sense, though it doesn't make it any less controversial. Let's talk about Scottie's career earnings for a moment, because this is an important piece of the puzzle. During his time in the NBA, Pippen was famously underpaid compared to his contributions. Despite being one of the best players in the league, his salary with the Bulls was nowhere near what you'd expect for someone of his caliber. In fact, during the Bulls' second three-peat, Pippen was only the 6th highest paid player on the team. 6th. And we're talking about a guy who was an all-star, one of the best defenders in the league, and a key reason the Bulls were so dominant. Part of the reason for this was a long-term contract Pippen signed early in his career. At the time, he was looking for financial security and signed a deal that, in hindsight, turned out to be a massive bargain for the Bulls. It gave them years of elite play from Pippen at a fraction of what he could have earned on the open market. And while that was great for the team, it left Pippen feeling undervalued and underpaid. Imagine putting up Hall of Fame numbers and still watching teammates who contributed far less earn way more than you. That's got to sting. So, when Scottie talks about trading a championship for $100 million, it's not just about the money. It's about what that money represents. It's about respect, recognition, and getting what you're worth. For years, Pippen was the guy doing the dirty work, locking down the opposition's best players, running the offense when Jordan wasn't on the floor, and being the glue that held the team together. But when the spotlight came on, it was always on Jordan. And sure, Jordan deserved it. He was the best player in the league, maybe the best ever, but that doesn't mean Pippen's contributions weren't just as critical to the team's success. And here's where things get even more complicated. Pippen didn't just say he'd trade a championship. He specifically said he'd trade winning a title without Michael Jordan for $100 million. That's a loaded statement, and it says a lot about the dynamic between these two legends. It's no secret that Scottie and Michael have had their ups and downs over the years. While they were an unstoppable duo on the court, their relationship off the court has been rocky, to say the least. One of the major flashpoints in recent years was the release of The Last Dance, the ESPN documentary that chronicled the Bulls' dynasty. While the series was a massive hit with fans, it didn't sit well with Pippen. He felt like the documentary focused too much on Jordan and didn't give enough credit to the rest of the team, including himself. In his memoir, Pippen even said he was upset by how he was portrayed and that the series made him feel like he was just another player on the team rather than a key part of the dynasty. So when Pippen says he'd trade winning a title without Jordan for $100 million, it's not just a hypothetical scenario. It's a way of saying, I'd rather be recognized and compensated for my worth than be overshadowed by someone else's legacy. It's a sentiment that a lot of people can relate to, even outside of sports. How many of us have felt underappreciated at work, in relationships, or in life in general? How many of us have looked back and wondered what could have been if we'd stood up for our worth? But of course, this is sports, and sports fans are passionate. The reaction to Pippen's statement has been intense, with some fans supporting him and others criticizing him. On one hand, you've got people saying, he's right. He deserved more. The Bulls wouldn't have won without him, and he should have been paid accordingly. On the other hand, you've got people saying, how could he even think about trading a championship for money? Championships are priceless. And that's what makes this such a fascinating conversation. There's no right or wrong answer. It all comes down to perspective. For Scottie, the lack of recognition and financial compensation during his career clearly left a mark. And if you think about it, $100 million isn't just about the money. It's about being able to provide for your family, invest in your future, and have the freedom to live life on your terms. But at the same time, championships are the ultimate goal in sports. They're what players dream about as kids, what they work toward their entire careers. They're the moments that live on in history, the memories that fans cherish forever. And for someone as competitive as Scottie Pippen, who poured everything he had into the game, it's hard to imagine him truly trading those moments for anything, even $100 million. So where does this leave us? Well, like so many things in life, it's complicated. Scottie Pippen's statement isn't just about basketball or money. It's about respect, recognition, and the complicated legacy of one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. It's about a man who gave everything he had to the sport he loved, but still feels like he didn't get his due. And whether you agree with him or not, you have to admit it's a perspective worth thinking about. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Scottie Pippen's statement? Do you agree with him, or do you think he's out of line? Would you trade a championship for $100 million if you were in his shoes? Let's get the conversation going in the comments, because this is one topic that's sure to spark some passionate opinions. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive like this one. Until next time, keep chasing greatness, and we'll see you in the next video.